There is optimism over the decision by Acting Public Service and Administration Minister Thulas Nxesi to make changes to the municipal workforce, which will see the delinking of the tenure of municipal managers from the 5-year political term of local government. Nxesi told Parliament that this would ensure the continuity of the municipal administration and thereby improve service delivery. The Progressive Professionals Forum has welcomed the move and is now pushing for its swift adoption. Kashif Wicomb is the president of the Progressive Professionals Forum and joins us now. Good evening to you and welcome. This is something you have been lobbying for, and share what you think the most immediate impact would be.
Good afternoon, Iman, and thank you for having us and me and the Progressive Professionals Forum. The idea behind having senior administrators being delinked from the political appointees means that there will be, number one, a continuation post a 5-year term of office of a particular minister or mayor or MEC. Number two, it would mean that institutional knowledge would not be lost. Number three, it would mean that there wouldn't be any political intervention or stronghold over these public administrators. So certainly we welcome it, and we push that the ministry and the state adopts these and implements it, more importantly, as swiftly and as efficiently as possible.
Well, let's tease out some of those immediate benefits that you enumerated there, Kashif, starting with the importance of institutional knowledge. A lot of these strategic plans that come into place are supposed to have a lifespan, between 5, 10 and beyond years. But if that administration doesn't stay there to see it through, then all that hard work, all that money we've spent on consulting goes down the drain, new administration comes in, and then they recommission, and then you've got new people who have to execute it. Talk to us about that piece alone, just how much of a money saver, but also how much of a boon it can be in really building strategic and delivery capacities in local government.
Well, I think if, for example, take the example of Mr. Lionel October, who was the Director General of the Department of Trade and Industry for more or less 14 years, you will then see that if a DG remains in place, if a municipal manager remains in place, notwithstanding who the mayor or minister is, the institutional knowledge is not lost. When we speak about implementation, Iman, South Africa and the South African government is not short of policies. In fact, we have the best policies globally. However, where we shortfall is the implementation thereof. And you can't have a municipal manager, a director general, a head of department who comes in every 5 years and needs to learn the ropes. And part of what this new framework does, it says that there will be an induction program, a workplace orientation for not only senior administrators, but also for middle management when they take up office. The effect of this, to answer your question on the economics, it means that faster implementation, quicker implementation, and of course, we will fight unemployment and better service delivery within all tiers of government.
And it goes without saying, also a consequence would be higher accountability. Some might say staying in for a short time when your political, appointer is leaving office allows you to kind of get away with things, so to speak. It's also an opportunity to ensure, Kashif, that people in place have the relevant qualifications in municipal governance. Would you agree with that?
Indeed, and if you look at what the report has, the Commission, the Public Service Commission has uncovered, it has said there are 2,000 public officials who are either not qualified or ill-qualified for the positions which they hold. For example, in Gauteng, 50 out of the 2,349 people in the Department of Health don't have the proper qualifications. In South African Police Services, 214. In Justice and Correctional Service, 144. So what this also does, Iman, if you have a properly qualified professional person within government, and that person's term of office comes to an end, you won't have this looting which currently takes place where the person's terms of office comes to an end and he must now chow, to use the word, before his term of office comes to an end. In fact, he knows that when his term of office comes to an end, he can go back into practice, whatever that practice is. And given his public sector experience, he will probably be very successful in the private sector. So what it also does, duly qualified with fixed term of office, with KPIs in place, also ensures that you have a better equipped public servant but also you have a public servant who ties into the government's Batopele principles and values.
And there is another one, and as I keep hearing you speak, I keep thinking about more and more benefits, is that you begin to break those patronage networks, which are relationships of expediency sometimes, as we've seen in procurement scandals relating to PPE and others. You need that network of enablement to be there. But if you have a government, local government that transcends political affiliations or even allegiances to certain, financial players and so on, you ensure that you, in a sense, also, sort of double blind and insulate or inoculate procurement processes from being infected by opportunistic individuals. But I want to come to this really quickly, Kashif, and this is the ructions in local government in respect of coalitions have been showing us very starkly how disruptive changed power blocks can be to service delivery. And I would love to hear your forum's view on how you've seen it impact various places where these sorts of changes have had an impact on service delivery.
Now it goes back to our first point. If a municipal manager or head of department, but let's use local authorities, if a municipal manager's position or term of office is delinked from that of the ruling party within that municipality or from the mayor within that municipality, then what happens with the coalitions is material but largely immaterial, because the municipal manager, the MM, will stay there irrespective of who his political bosses are. What typically happens and has happened is that as the mayor leaves, he brings in his favorite MM, and that MM then stays there for as long as the mayor is there. But now the other unwritten consequence of that is that generally when the mayor brings in his person, it is his so-called political junior, and he can give this particular person instructions. And because the person is there at the behest of the mayor, to use local government as an example, he cannot say, but Mr. Mayor, technically, professionally, your idea is not going to work. Listen to me, I'm the professional. That's the hill we were supposed to march over. And this then is what is going to happen. And especially now, Iman, with coalition governments, you need to have in place firm, professional, principled public administrators who will manage the city despite who the political seniors are at that particular municipality.
Kashif, thank you for talking to us and for sharing your perspective as well. Appreciate it here on Full View. Kashif is the president of the Progressive Professionals Forum.